Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for Friday, June 17. So, as you know, we've been looking at wave 1 up here, and then an A and a B and a C wave down here for wave 2. I have to say wave 1 and wave 2 here is a little bit hopeful because of what's going on in the rest of the markets around the world. So, but anyway, staying on track, we can count down as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here and be finished here on this low. It's not quite there yet, and we'll have a little bit of look at a bit of detail in that. In fact, we know that the Bitcoin has been working with the NASDAQ, so I'm just going to bring that across here for a moment. So with the NASDAQ, what we've been doing here is from wave 4 here, we've been tracking down. It's possible to have wave 5 down here. We've got 5 waves, so it's possible to have a low in place for the NASDAQ. Okay, that's a possibility. But looking at tech stocks, it appears that that won't be the case, and we need to move that out of the way. And without complicating it too much, we can look at there's 2 counts that we can have on those US stocks. Now, I won't go into a lot of detail, but one of them is that the move down here is wave 1, and we go back for wave 2, and then we go down for wave 3. Or we can look at them as wave B. Now, you really need to watch the stock video for that, but it does seem that we need to go down further with all of this, right? So what we've been looking for, what we'll be looking for next here is a little ABC pattern to come into play here, and then down into wave 3. Now, if Bitcoin's been following the NASDAQ, well, then the NASDAQ is going to do something. I mean, the Bitcoin is going to do something like this as well, isn't it? So with Bitcoin, even though we'll count down here in a minute, and I'll show you where the low will come in and whatnot. But well, how do we extend this down further? You know, so I've been giving it a little bit of thought. So we have to go through everything step by step. So we could put wave 1 over here and wave 2 to this point here, and then we can put wave 1 here and 2 over here for this, and that means that we need to move this over down here and put this as a wave 3 here, move this over to here, probably put that over there. We'll probably need to lift that up a degree of structure, but that's not here nor there at the moment. And then another wave 4 over here. That wave 4 can come into here, and wave 5 to come into here. So because if I bring the NASDAQ back across, there's 2 situations here. One is we have wave 1 here and 2 here, and then we have wave 3, 4, and 5. If we have it as an A wave here and a B wave here and a C wave down here, which is part of a larger WXY complex correction, then we'll just have that move and then that move down here. So in that case, we would have that move and that move down there. So we can find lows, but we don't know if they are the lows of the lows, so to speak. So that's kind of where we're at with this. And I also must say too that you know, we can quite easily put this into a bigger bearish picture here as well. We could also put we could just quite simply, if I can grab hold of it, it doesn't want to move, maybe it's not the right thing to do, wave 1 here, and put wave 2 over here. We're going into a bigger bearish picture, because the bearish picture that we've got for the NASDAQ, just to shoot the breeze here, and because they're tuned into each other here, this is a bigger bearish picture, which is a bit frightening, but it's the wrong one, but that's okay. We'll just have to chill while that goes through that. I'm just going into the 10K tick here. It's a bit chilling, this count, but you know, we need to look at everything, you know. So this is the top of the NASDAQ, and we can count down as wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2, and then looking at this move here as 1 and 2, as we've just been doing here for the moment. So the situation is that yes, we can have a low in place right here, right now, and go up from that point. We can also have another A, B, and C down here, and then go up from that point there as well. That's possible. Or we can have wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to come down here and have a low in place here. But all of these possible lows that we've got in place here are things that we need to work through, and we just don't have an answer for it. You know, that's as simple as that. But while we don't have an answer for it, it means we can't stick our head in the sand and pretend other things are not happening. There's two sides to a coin, and this is the other side of the coin. So a top in play here with wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and then 1 and 2 here, and then we come down really quite hard here. You know, and we're looking to trade this situation down here, because if we go to the 100 ticks, we've been talking about this morning, and I know this is it must be the 2000 ticks or something. We're already short of that, so let's maybe it was a 5k tick. Okay, yeah, so sorry about that mess before, but I don't always update every chart. But we were short here in the NASDAQ, and we talked about getting out of that down the low here. And so now we're looking at wave 4 and wave 5 down here, and we're looking at an ABC pattern to come up here. And we're talking about going long here and so on. But the main point here, I'm not going into all of that, but the main point here is that this wave 2 over here, we'll need to be looking for a short trade over here for this. So if that's the case, then Bitcoin and Ethereum can be in that basket as well. So yeah, anyway, we need to keep an eye on everything, and this is what we're looking at the moment. So an ABC here, and then further down at this side, and we'll be all over it to look short over this side of it. So Bitcoin, you know, is moving. You know, the highs and lows in Bitcoin are the same as the NASDAQ, so it's a real sort of possibility, you know. Anyway, we've been looking down here as having this blue wave 4 over here and blue wave 5 here. So let's just go down and have a little look at this leg here. But once this lands down here, so then you know, that we could still get another ABC pattern here and then down again, you know, for this point. So we can come down a lot further, make no mistake about it. You know, we can be going into a bigger bear market. So don't get you know, you need to decide what you're going to do about the situation. If, let's just say, I mean, Bitcoin, who knows? I mean, it could go down to 10,000, it could go down to 5,000. You know, what will you do if that's the case? You know, for me personally, I've got money in it, but I you know, I mean, I'm just going along for the ride. You know, I mean, I mentioned way back up here, for anybody that wanted to get out, this is the time to get out, and the second time was over here. But I decided that, well, the people that I'm chatting to, you know, you guys, you're probably, you know, this still in all of this. So I thought, well, I'll just go in for the ride. I won't trade this. I'll just do it, and I have to pay, you know, tax on it and all the rest of it in Australia. Now the rest of the world's looking at that as well. So I'm just going in for the ride, and you know, I think one of the just getting a bit philosophical around here. A lot of folks in all of this came in, you know, into this bull run. Some have been in the 2017 run, and some have been into this run. But all the new folks that have been into this run here and been through all of this and are still holding on here, I mean, the thing is that you've just been through an amazing roller coaster ride and an amazing experience. You've gained so much experience now with all of this. So, you know, this will just all repeat itself again as well here. Now, we may have a big cold winter down here for a couple of years or whatever. You know, that could be the worst case scenario. But all, you know, what you've learned through all of this, you'll be putting into the next run to the upside. You know, I mean, let's face it, blockchain is not going anywhere. Yeah. You know, it's the new technology. It's, you know, it's going to transform everything, and you know, it's Bitcoin and blockchain are not going anywhere. End of story. You know, so don't listen to the media. It's going to get grim. but this will all be part of your experience as well. And I'll be in there with you. I'm in there with you, you know. So let's go through the. We've had the high times, and we've had the hangover, and now we just got to get through this cold winter, and we'll get back to work again as well within all of this. We are seeing increasing volume to the downside in all of this as well. So it does appear that we will end up going lower, but you know, if we do see a nice impulse wave, well, then we'll move in with that. So anyway, just tuning into the intraday tick chart here. So was 50,000 enough? So look, what we've been doing over the period, we've been looking at this correction across here as the wave 4. It's been a little bit sort of it's been, you know, it's definitely doing its job as a wave 4, because you know, after a strong move down, that you can expect wave 4s to get complicated, you know, because really, you know, these markets are from you know, human beings, and when a human being has a big event happen to it, it takes a while to recover, and wave 4s are the recovery, you know, of wave 3, and they're complicated, and there's lots going on in them, and yada yada yada. The point is where to put this wave 4 here was one of the tricks with all of this here, and I don't even know if I've got this right here, but if it is this last one here, we've got some sort of triangle pattern here, well, then we've been counting down as 1 and 2 here, and then 1 2 3 4 5 for 1 and 2, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that kind of fits quite nicely, having this strong third wave in the middle here. So we're looking at this is sort of lagging the NASDAQ at the moment with this. I'll just tune in here a little bit. So we've got this ABC here for wave 4. So that means it looks like we've got 5 waves in this little move here. 1, 2, I'll go into all of that. But so we've got 1 and 2 here. So we can come down for 3, 4, and 5 down here to land here for this. So that's one thing that we could do here, and this was the sort of original account and all the rest of it. But what we probably end up doing in the next step is putting this wave 5 as wave 3 here. Now, first of all, the other point here too is that if the NASDAQ is going to rise, bringing the NASDAQ back, if the NASDAQ's going to go into a wave 2 over here, like have a rally, well, then there's a pretty good chance that that Bitcoin could do the same as well. So instead of getting this wave 4 here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here, we may end up having this situation here currently as, copy this, putting wave B here. So all of this here becomes wave A here for wave 4. So an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave for wave 4 over here, while the NASDAQ does its rally, and then we go down again at that point. So then we have our 5 waves down in the next leg. So that's a possibility as well. That would be tuning it in with the NASDAQ. But look, over the weekend, this market could, you know, travel by itself and just continue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But like I said, the target to the downside of the 78.6 is the 17,200, which is in group 2 here. And as I always say, when you're working with the number, you always go to group 1 above and group 2 below. That will be the swing range. And when you first arrive into a big number like this here, then it is going to be a bumpy ride, and it's best not to make any decisions in the early stages of a market, of a price market arriving at a large number. You just allow it to be, or normally stay in the bands of group 1 above, 1, 2, and 3, and then group 2 below. And after a while it will mature, and the more mature it gets, then the more you'll understand what it is. So you don't make the only decision that you need to be making if you're coming down here is taking profit at such a large number and then just chilling and waiting for it to mature to a point that you recognize something, because you need to tell yourself the truth, which is a pretty hard thing to do, I know. So you just need to allow it to mature. Alrighty, so that's all I really got to say about everything, which was quite a lot and a lot to take in. It's the same here for Ethereum as well. We've been counting down and we've had wave 3, 4 and 5 here. I don't know where my wave 5's gone. It's probably walked off the job. And we can look at this as wave 4, or if the NASDAQ's going to rally, we'll need to put wave 4 over here again for that, for this one. So there's a couple of things to go on here. It may just, continue to flow down into wave 5 down here, or we're going to look at this as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, and then come down, which would be in line with the NASDAQ. So 1 is the strongest number in the market, so we can expect that bounce to play out here for Ethereum. That's about it, really. So I don't know just yet with the US stock market, and if we're going into a massive bear market or we're still in a big correctional pullback. And I really won't know for a good couple of weeks yet. All right, so I'm working on it, but just keep it. Even if you just trade Bitcoin, it will be a good idea to track the S&P and the NASDAQ video that I do, because you'll get to understand as time goes on what we're looking at, and at what point we'll be able to confirm that we're into a huge bear market that kind of ties into all the credit that's been played out since the 70s and all the last of the printing press and zero COVID in China, and the commodity effect from Russia and Ukraine, all these things sort of tying into each other. And then you got inflation on top of that. So, you got one hell of a firecracker sitting there that, that's about to be lit in a way. So, there's a good case for a fundamental, there's a good case for a big bear market to start, but and it has started. But I can't confirm it is that yet. I need to distinguish between, is it a big bear market or is it a big correction? Because once you're in one of these things and they're coming down, we're humans and we're emotional. And if you're connected to it, you're either going to be emotional about it, in terms of connecting with the negativity in the world and going, it's all doom and gloom from here, and then suddenly the market goes up and you can't kind of figure out why that would be like that, with all that sort of going on. So it's a very difficult thing to become a detached observer and watch the natural flow of destiny unfold and choose to play a part in a very practical, undetached way. But that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to stay with the evidence, but I don't have all the evidence in as yet. And I can see that with the wave structure throughout all the markets, it's going to take a good few weeks before we can nail all this down. Anyway, that's where my head's at, and that's all I can do. Alrighty, enjoy the weekend. Cheers.